The time is now 9:33. This council will now return to open session to deliberate, consider, agenda item number 7, return to open session, deliberate, consider, and take any necessary action as a result of the discussions in the immediately preceding agenda item number 6.
Mayor, if I'm not mistaken, there was no action required on this one.
Correct. For the record, no action required.
Good job.
Okay. Agenda item number 8, boards, commissions, and committees consider and act upon 1, establishment, dissolution, division, and/or reorganization of Alice boards, commissions, and committees, and 2, appointments, reappointments, removal, and/or terms, clarifications of appointments, vacancies, and/or memberships of the City of Alice boards, commissions, and committees.
Mayor and council, it had been some time since this item had come to you all, and one of the things I've been working on is updating, going through boards, commissions, committees, updating the information, and I thought it'd be a good time to bring this to the city council so that they can start to review what is currently in existence, what has been dissolved in the past, and bring to their attention vacancies that may have to be considered in the future.
Any questions by council?
I had a couple real quick questions.
Yes, sir.
The Coastal Bend Council of Governments was previously occupied by pretty much everybody that's gone.
That's correct.
I think we need to take into account, maybe not move on it today, replacing those people so that they can participate in Corpus Christi when they have those meetings.
I did. I've already gone to a meeting.
Okay, great.
And represented Alice, and they were very pleased to see Alice represented.
Great. And then one other that I had questions or wanted to bring to council so that we can move forward on it is, I had talks with John, and we have been presented in the past charter changes, and we feel like moving on a bunch of them at this time may be a bit premature. However, our city charter review committee is basically 75% gone also.
Correct.
So I asked that council maybe bring forward some ideas of who we can get back on that so that we can move on making some necessary charter changes in whatever election, we might put together something and go forward from there.
You can, and Diane and I were talking about this, it's every 2 years.
Yeah.
You can have a charter election once every 2 years.
So so the first one would be the basis for anything moving forward because we haven't made any in a while.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And
Which
so-
would come up in May.
And you all could call a special election in May. Excuse me, depending on how the recall comes out, is that you'll have to set one in May if the items on the recall pass, and you could go ahead and do it for then. But at that juncture, it would probably be best, and you'd have to bring everything that you think is appropriate at that time.
Right.
And your charter review committee or commission is a very good way to do that.
Agreed.
Very good.
One of the things that would be helpful is having a standard application on our city website for any interested citizen who may want to serve on a
I was
board.
going to say, I think we may have it on our website already, but I'll double check because of the upgrade. It may have moved to a different area.
And in there it will indicate, it's kind of like an application, and it'll indicate the interests or boards they may want to
Yes, ma'am.
serve. That's a good way to, find individuals who are wanting to serve and meet some of, or have some of the experience on some things. So.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'll certainly look into that.
And I think I agree with that completely because a lot of our citizens don't know how to. I did just a little public post and they were saying, how do I do that? So that would be awesome if we could refer them. I do recognize in the overview of just looking at these that our public recreation board, am I reading this correct? Are they all expired?
That is correct. From what we can gather, well, yes and no. When the appointments happened, they all happened at one time, and they're supposed to be, I believe, staggered. I think the community development director and the prior city attorney were working on determining how they were going to stagger those terms out. I can certainly come back to council to ensure that
We actually talked about.
Yeah,
Okay.
the easiest way to do it, it's not rocket science. You've got so many people on the board right now, you just select as a council which terms, all right, these first two, those are the ones that are gonna have this much time left. And then when the next two come up, you say, okay, well, you guys are gonna be appointed, you just stagger them as they go, as you all want to. As they term out, you reappoint them for different terms, if that makes any sense. It's not that difficult.
Correct.
So,
I mean, I would think, and I would ask for council to entertain the idea, and if it would work, I don't know, that if we had just a general, these are the rules for, and I understand boards, commissions, and committees they're different, the same but different. So I wonder if we could do something just general for boards or because they're all different, and they're all just, like somebody came together and said, okay, we're doing this, well, this board's doing this. So that way, as council, we know that, okay, this is this year, and we're gonna have to reinstate all of the boards, this person, or, you know what I mean? Like,
You're kind of looking for like a master planning, a master
yes,
list.
just something simple,
for every-
simplified, and everybody knows exactly what.
Because we have 2-year terms, 1-year terms, 5-year
5-year
terms,
terms.
4-year
And-
terms.
Yeah.
Some
And in
of-
the same board, they could have a 1-year term and a 4-year term.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, I tried making sense of it, and I'm like, well, they're all different. And then, like, attendance to me is important. Like, I want to say the housing has a requirement on attendance that, they need to, if they're going to be on this board, to
Yeah.
actually, so I wonder if city attorney, that would be under.
we can, as far as all the boards go, if you want to put together a general, here's how long you get to serve on the board, it would be something that we'd have to look at to see the number of individuals on the board. If you want to stagger terms, then again, that would something that we would have to look at. And it's not a Herculean task, but it's going to be a tedious thing to go through each board because, as Mr. Cripps said, you've got so many different boards that were enacted at so many different times. And then you're going to have an issue with your, like, Housing Authority Board that is part of our agreement with HUD, and there's not going to be changes that you can make in those regards. But, the short answer is yes, we can put together a draft of, standard people on, or standard numbered of individuals on boards. If you want to have staggered terms for those individuals, and you want to have, standard time period, then we can put those together, and you guys can figure out how you want to implement it.
Okay. I think that would simplify it because it's kind of,
Just one caveat, though, some of these are actually
Yes.
under the local government code
Okay.
Yeah.
that have some specifics, so
To
this
that
may
one
not
board.
apply to all, we can't probably standardize
No.
all the boards, because we do have, for example, P and Z, and actually the Parks and the Public Recreation
Yeah.
Board is under the local government code, which has some
So-
specifics to it. So we
As
may
you-
not be able to address all the standardization. for
but if
all-
we go to charter
Yeah.
revisions, I think we could.
Yeah.
Just to kind of simplify, because it's so,
So in your packet, as each board, I included notations on what I could find as far as where it tied into what ordinance, if it was local government code.
Appreciate that.
Where the meetings were supposed to be held, when, as much as we could find. And it's just the building blocks for you all to know that we're trying to get it together, where
Perfect.
we can get everybody on the same page.
and I think community development is in charge of quite a few of them.
Yes.
So
That
if,
is true.
we can get his help. So, so going back to Parks and Rec, are they expired, or, I'm sorry, I think I interrupted.
They're December 20th.
So you said
or
yes and no?
2020.
Give me a moment, please.
No, because here you say they're all through 2020.
Yeah.
I don't know what this date, 2016, is this the date? I don't know what.
They were,
That's the
when they were appointed.
So-
October 13th, 2016. But I
Yeah.
think what it's doing is it's,
This is where you have to do the staggered, they're all
Start-
expired
They were all-
2020.
So start the stagger.
So we would really have to do something around that in,
We can probably
In
do it
October?
now and stagger 'em.
my other
5
real
years
quick question, sorry about, to skip the staggering,
it's
is it
okay.
says 5 members, but we have 6, and there's one with a little asterisk there,
asterisk.
so,
and actually, there's a member there that apparently has resigned that I was informed of here after the packets were put together, so.
Ms. Hunter.
Does that have
Yes.
to come to the board to accept resignation?
No, right?
I don't think a resignation. I think for this
A
particular
selection.
board, it's only the removal
The removal,
and the
okay.
appointment.
So, yeah, that was an interesting thing that I brought up, the previous city manager, that the local government code in our charter calls for 5 members.
Do we have a
They
reason?
had a different, huh?
Yeah, do we have reasoning for that?
I was told that as long as they weren't voting, that they
I-
could be on the board. I've never heard that, but.
I believe that their secretary.
An ex
Doesn't vote. She's
officio.
an ex
officio.
officio.
She's an
But
ex
But there's
officio.
nothing
is,
in our
right?
charter or local government code that speaks to that.
So
I don't know
who's
where they
the,
got that from.
the secretary
Somebody
on?
The
catches you,
secretary,
you
I
can
believe,
keep
is
doing
Mrs.
it.
Carrillo.
Yeah.
Okay. So would we be able to appoint for the,
It may be best if we bring this back at a later meeting so that I can confirm with the community development director, as well as look at their minutes and make sure that there haven't been any additional changes. I didn't get an opportunity to do that.
Well, plus it also, now that we
Well, but
mentioned
you
the
only
fact
have
that
to
we.
have 5, so
Right.
we can't add another person.
Well, if he's an ex officio, he's
officio.
not an actual
because
appointee.
your secretary is ex officio.
Yeah. And then, but that'll also give it a chance, if somebody wants to volunteer, they can fill out an application and put it before council, and then we can see
I
if the
don't know
appointments.
that he was ex officio.
And if I
No,
may,
Tessa
this,
was.
this isn't
Yeah,
a,
Tessa
this
was.
isn't really a legal thing, but your city manager, I know you all had been discussing this with her as well, and this was this was a recurring agenda item that we
Correct.
had
Correct.
on the agenda when we were here, and sometimes we took no action, other times we decided to take action. It was just based upon if we had people that were interested in those positions. And so, you know,
But I just
I
think
would.
like some of these boards just went on, there's like the beautification, I think we need that. And it hasn't had a meeting since '06.
Probably
You know, there's
hasn't.
just no, here again, no structure, which is what we want to
Oh, yeah, it's-
change, I would like.
It kind of, on one of them in particular, it kind of struck me as odd that up the top here, it says, last meeting was scheduled on July 2009. 2 members attended, but it was reactivated in 2013, but the last meeting was all the way back in 2009. So the idea of having it where we say, hey, look, we have these boards out there.
Correct.
And we as a council, I feel, need to utilize these
Me too.
boards in order to best utilize the funds that are out there and give us the ideas to move forward and so forth.
And to
But
service our
when we reactivate something and then nothing at all
Happens.
happens, it's kind of a disappointment, to say the least, that we could have utilized. There's a lot of people out there that
There's
may want to
people
be a
that-
part of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that want to be involved, but,
So,
and then just for the record, I do represent the city as the mayor, as at the Chamber of Commerce. They've got me in there, and then economic development as an ex officio also. So,
but there was one more too, wasn't there?
those are the ones that I can account for that I currently attend.
Do we also give a
Chamber,
list of
EDC,
who's the
and the-
president, vice president?
Oh, yeah, because the
Yes.
chamber has
Of
the
each.
city manager.
This
And
was
the
there was
treasurer
that
has
wellness
done
one,
The wellness one, yeah.
but
That one doesn't work, that one doesn't exist.
yeah.
So
And
that's why I
we're,
wanted to
we're
know.
still looking, because there, I just noticed right now that my particular commission isn't listed here, Civil Service Commission. So we're starting that process of going through, trying to cross-reference and, you know, build up what has been there, what is currently inactive, and which direction council wants to move forward in.
Okay,
All right.
very good.
On the Board of Adjustments also, we have, there's 5 members, but we have 7. And then we have, you have put on here, continued, so. We have 1, 2, 3.
Right, page 3, correct?
Yes.
Well, I passed it a long time ago. Oh, there it is.
I'm trying to go through one at a time so we can address. But these
Ms.
we can
Bena, I'm
revisit.
wondering if,
You can update this
Yes, ma'am.
later,
Mhm.
just look at these, okay, so I showed 7 there and. Okay. And then over here, we do have keep Alice Beautiful permission.
Yeah,
yes,
but
ma'am,
it's-
I
And
believe
then
that.
it was reactivated 13,
yes.
so, okay. And when you put continued, you make contact with these individuals and they want to continue?
These are the
or-
last notations that we had
Oh, okay.
from the last time that this process was looked at.
Okay,
We have not made individual contact with each one.
okay. So then we can revisit these with an updated list of
Yes,
who
ma'am.
wants to continue and then
Mhm.
have the applications
Yes,
and announce it
Absolutely.
to the public that we've got these openings.
And in truth, you can clear everybody, except those that are, except for those that like are on our housing authority board and whatnot, and then you can reappoint new ones, provided we're in compliance with the charter.
So by clear everybody, you mean just dissolve all of them except for those
You,
couple?
you could do that if you wanted to and start over. You could have your existing boards as they are and just reappoint, remove people and reappoint. If they're not going to attend, those are some of the conditions for their removal. We ran into that problem quite a bit. We would appoint people to to the committees, and then they wouldn't bother to show up.
Right.
Now, are some of these, going to assume that some of these newer boards that there's just so many, were set up by ordinances?
There,
And
yes.
So, if so, what are their
Criteria.
responsibilities, duties?
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's no description of
Oh, yes.
why they were formed and what they do, and
I have
that kind
I have a question on the Mayor's Commission on Health and Wellness, Commission on Disabilities. What was,
The charter allows you to appoint committees and boards and whatnot as you see fit. I don't believe that there's ordinances on every board that's there and that sort of stuff, that sort of thing.
is that something that?
This is, and this is the process. Yeah, and I don't know,
Yeah.
but
What
this
is
is,
this, do you know?
this is the process that you guys need to follow to review all of these things.
Yeah, I mean, where's the criteria for some of these boards? I mean,
And if the
Set
council
up
feels that
criteria.
if the council feels that there's appropriate criteria, write it down. If you want to enact the board by ordinance, so that the only way to dissolve the board in the future is by, direct council action, then you can do that. I mean, it's just, this is the process, that there was an issue in regards, the mayor had discussed some charter issues with us, Pete Crisp has discussed some charter issues with us, especially looking at we get one bite at the apple. It's probably best to try to review everything at one time. And to have and the best way to do that is your charter commission or your charter review committee. And so this has grown out of that.
Well, it's just, there's just so many boards that have grown here, and some of them don't have any clear and concise criteria and responsibilities and duties and how they're organized, and I'm concerned that some of this may come back to the city and
And that,
That's why I'm saying if we have like a
Practice.
master plan,
And
other than
that's-
those couple that we can.
That's why I mentioned as we continue the research, and it's going to take time for us to research.
This is not going to be fast.
You know, this
oh,
isn't
plus
a,
we
you
have
know.
staff working on some other things.
We're-
this really isn't.
We're on important.
Issues, some issues.
Other important issues.
Exactly.
But no,
But
I'm happy you brought this in
Budget,
front of
yes.
us so that we can
Start looking.
start looking at it.
Down our long laundry list of things to do.
Knock it out.
Okay, so no action taken on this, correct? Correct. Okay, so go to agenda item number 9, adjourn and/or consider and act upon adjournment. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
No nays. This meeting is now adjourned. The time is 9:52 on Wednesday, August. Thank you for being with us this evening. Good night.
Air Force One had a heck of a view. Air Air Force One had a heck of a view, looking down on the patchwork of the blue top blues. I went walking to the water, sprung a leak in my shoe. I went walking through the water, sprung a leak in my shoe. Well, that hole in my soul, give me the blue top blues. I got the blues. I got the blue top blues. There's a crack in the ceiling and the system too. And there's a crack in the ceiling and the system too. The top blue. I got the blues. I got the blue top blue. No, it wasn't the weather that sank me and you. It was a bad mix of politics, greed, and food. That levy of lies couldn't hold back the truth. But we were in deep, but not out of reach. Throw me something, mister. I'm gonna fly my colors and watch for you. I'm gonna fly my colors and watch for you. Like a flag of hope above the blue top blues. I got the blue. I got the blue top blues. I got the I got the blue top blue.